to Glorified Betsy Gaming. I'm Jake, and today we are doing an unboxing for Gale Force 9's Star Trek Ascendancy player expansion set for the Vulcan High Command. Long live and prosper, everything you need to add the Vulcans and another player to your games of Star Trek Ascendancy. Discover new star systems, encounter new exploration cards, plus more space lanes and resource nodes. Plus 1 hour per player. Got a little tiny rule book here. Explains the contents, adding them, the setup. It goes over the command console, and then it talks about the ambassadors. So let's take a quick look here. Here is the command board with their color, which I believe is orange. Logical observers. Vulcans may not invade or attempt hegemony of systems controlled by a rival with lower ascendancy. Honest meddling. The Vulcan player may not lie to other players. On your turn, you may use commands to move ships of rivals whose trade agreements you hold with their permission. That's kind of interesting. Then we've got our tokens, our space lanes. More. So 4 and 3 length. And here we got some 2s. Here's some more command tokens, warp tokens, and then the Vulcan home system. Pretty interesting. And then I've lost some. Got some more tokens here, and then we've got some more systems. We've got Esnar, Singularity Cluster, Temporal Anomaly. Oh, we've got the Trill Planet. All these planets are just popping out. And we got some more. And then we have got what looks like our fleet tokens, sliders for the shields and guns, and then our ambassador token. And we've got Vulcan ships. The bottom kind of looks like a cross, but pretty cool. And then we've got our Vulcan control nodes and their own set of control, research, and production nodes. There's not very many culture in there. Only 4. And then we got some cards. I'll look through the fleet cards real quick. We've got our building phase and command phase reminder card, which should be familiar to everybody else. For Fleet 1, Consul Helatra. When in orbit of an independent civilization or rival system whose trade agreement you hold, this fleet may not place or remove a Vulcan ambassador. This does not use a command and may not be done while moving. The other side is just for 9 ships. 2. This fleet may re-roll any failed hazardous system tests or brave the hazard of a phenomenon it occupies without issuing a command. Again, the backside is 9. And then 3. When entering a new system at impulse speed, this fleet may discard the first drawn exploration card and draw a new one. When this fleet retreats from space battle, it may enter warp instead of its normal impulse speed retreat move. That's pretty cool. And then we've got some some of the encounter cards. If I could open this, it'd be excellent. There we go, finally. I hate opening cards. Always afraid I'm going to damage it. Alright, so we've got our Vulcan trade agreements. Then we've got our expiration cards. Vulcan encounter. If you have a Vulcan rival, place a new Vulcan ship in this system. If not, place a new ship from the player to your right in this system. Cool. Orion interceptors. If any ships survive this hazard, you may draw one card from a rival's advancement deck and immediately put it into play with your completed advancements. Now that is nice. It is a threat level 4. Black Star. If any ship survives this hazard, refresh 2 commands, another 4 hazard. Sargon Encounter. Put all of your ships in this system at warp. The player to your right may move these ships up to a maximum warp speed once. The ships exit warp without issuing a command. Arconian Destroyer. Level 5 hazard. Roll to hit with all your ships. If you score at least 1 hit, and at least one of your ships survives, take 2 production. Dark Reflection, Discovery. Roll a die and add your Ascendancy. If the result is 8 or higher, take 1 culture. If it is 7 or lower, the player sitting opposite you may issue up to 3 of your commands this turn on this ship or fleet, ignoring the special rules of your command console. Peaceful Meditation. Take 1 culture or destroy one of your ships in the system to take 3 production. Pre-warp level 0. Place 1 production and 1 research token on system, marking it as inhabited by a pre-warp independent civilization. The first player to colonize this system claims the tokens. Warp capable level 1. Develop 1 resource node in priority order. Place 1 warp token on system, marking it as a warp capable independent civilization. Warp capable level 3. Develop up to 3 resource nodes in priority order. Place 3 warp tokens on system, marking it as a warp-capable independent civilization. And we've got some agenda cards and some advancements. Starting advancement. You may build ships and form fleets in any of your systems which have an ambassador. On your turn, you may use a command to move an ambassador to another connected system you control. Every system with an ambassador rolls an extra 2 hit die in planetary invasions. When you complete this advancement, take 3 culture. All players who have at least 1 ambassador on one of their systems also take 1 culture. When attacked, your ships may enter warp before the battle begins if there is a Vulcan ambassador in their system or in a system connected to their space lane. Once completed, you may discard this card if a rival controls the Vulcan system. You may immediately declare a different uncontrolled system or system you control as your homeworld. When upgrading your shields, you may substitute 2 production for 1 research token. For each Vulcan ambassador, place on an independent civilization +1 command. Discard the command if any player takes control of the independent civilization. In your building phase, you may spend 2 production instead of a research to add research to a project. You are still limited to placing 1 research token on each project per turn. Any of your systems which produce at least 1 culture produce 1 additional culture if there are no ships in the system or in connected space lanes. Increase the value of any trade agreements you hold by 2 if you also have an ambassador on one of their systems. You must give one of those resources to the player whose trade agreement it is. On your turn, after discovering a new system, you may shuffle this advancement into your advancement deck to immediately colonize that system after the exploration card is resolved. In space battles, you may re-roll any dice equal to or higher than your current ascendancy. You may spend a single command to have all the Vulcan fleets in the system enter warp. They must exit warp separately. Ministry of Diplomacy. When generating resources, take 1 culture for each independent civilization with a Vulcan ambassador. Add +1 hegemony attempts in every system with a Vulcan ambassador. Last one. When you colonize a planet, you may immediately build 1 node at no cost. And lastly, we have agenda cards. To win the game, control 10 systems on your turn. To win the game, occupy 6 phenomenon. To win the game, reach 8 ascendancy. That seems worse. To win the game, control 9 research nodes. To win the game, orbit 8 developed systems you do not control. To win the game, have 8 warp tokens pictured on your completed advancements. To win the game, control 7 culture nodes. To win the game, control 12 production nodes. To win the game, fully upgrade your weapons and shields. To win the game, complete 3 advancements from other players with at least 1 from each. Alright, that is it. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.
Stay tuned and subscribe.